We made it to the bus station. We're going to catch a bus to Valladolid. And from there, we're going to explore Chichen Itza. There's going to be all sorts of fun stuff. We're going to swim in cenotes. We're going to get to experience this really cool colonial Spanish town. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, over there.
We are here waiting to take a bus, 2-hour bus ride to Valladolid. Minutes away from boarding. It's a nice looking bus.
Hi, we're MADison and iVEN, and today we're taking the 2-hour bus ride from Cancun, Mexico to Valladolid. When we started planning our trip here, it was mostly to beat the crowds and have the opportunity to take our time as we explore Chichen Itza. But as I've learned more about this place, I have been amazed by the history, food, natural beauty, and rich culture this place holds. So today we are diving deeper into all of that and sharing it with you.
Hola!
Bienvenidos to Valladolid! Valladolid is known for its arts, handicrafts, and meat. So we are headed to the Mercado Municipal, where we are hoping to find a delicious meal from a food stall and maybe some souvenirs. Okay, bad news. We made it to the market around 1 and all of the food stalls have already closed for the day. But we are going to try to see everything really quick before we get too hangry. This is definitely one of my favorite markets I have ever been to. We are seeing how the sausage was made. Literally! A lot of times when I've been to a market and they say handmade, I definitely question the validity of the statement. But here it is so beautiful to see so many artists at work. So we are at El Atrio de MAYAB. It says it's regional Mayan cuisine. Ordered a chaya juice, jugo de chaya. Ah, perfecto, muchas gracias. So this is chaya, kind of like a spinach, but it's a superfood with just all sorts of crazy nutrients to it. Smells intense, almost smells like matcha. That's not bad at all, actually. It is very refreshing. Probably put a little bit of sugar in there to make it a little sweeter. So yeah, I mean, for a superfood, it's pretty fantastic. Now I have heard that you have to get chaya from a restaurant because apparently there's a way that you can prepare it where it will poison you. Shockingly good.
I was worried for nothing. That is so refreshing. It's really good. I'm kind of jealous I didn't get it for myself.
¿Habla español?
Un poquito, sí.
Esta es una especialidad yucatana tenía de calabaza con tomate asada, no picante.
So this is called siquil pak, and it's a Mayan pumpkin seed dip. I think he said it's made from pumpkin seeds, some tomato. It's almost like a hummus. And it's a very regional thing out here, so I am very excited to try it. This just looks so good, so different. That's really good. It has a smoky flavor and a nuttiness to it that's really, really good.
Absolutely delicious. Rich smokiness, stays on the finish. So good. I don't want to call it a hummus, but I see where the analogy could be made, for sure. Smashed pumpkin seed dip, it's very good. Probably like hand ground, still got some grittiness to it, very good texture, in addition to flavor. Flavor is very smoky.
This is something that I'm going to want to try to find a recipe and make for my family and friends back home. This is so delicious.
It's the cochinita pibil, very long stewed pork cooked underground, actually. They bury the meat underground, and it slow cooks and roasts, and once it comes out it's tender, fall apart. Meat has kind of dissolved into that juice. I think you're supposed to put this on tortillas. Might be a challenge considering how tender and soupy it is. Got tortillas here. We watched abuelitas making them. You definitely got to get some of these pickled onions. Save the habanero on top for later. Drip it. So tender, so tender. Teeth optional, but with a rich flavor, not spicy, but a nice rich, savory broth that it's in as well. And the tortilla, oh boy. You can tell they were like made 5 minutes ago. It's so good. I feel like I'm gonna have half of this as a soup.
This is sopa de lima, which is a very traditional dish in the state of Yucatan. Chicken base with just a lot of lima, lime, and some tortilla crisps, and a bunch of just like regional flavors and vegetables. Looks like some peppers, some onions. Wow. I feel like this is replenishing all of the electrolytes that I just lost walking around in this heat. This is very good. And I feel like it's too hot of a day to be eating a soup, but it's like, it's refreshing. The lime flavor is there, definitely giving it a little bit of an acidity and probably a big part of why it does taste so refreshing, but it's not overpowering like I kind of expected it to be, considering it's like soup of lime. It's very tasty. It just tastes very like home style, like something that your mom would make you if your mom lived in the Yucatan. So I'm a fan.
I had a piece of the habanero and it's very spicy. Trying to soothe my tongue with the soup. But I also squeezed the habanero into the soup. But it's excellent. It's like 2 meals in one. It's your tears of joy. Look at this guy. I wasn't kidding. I took the tiniest bite. Every last drop. Can't let it go to waste.
Right across town square from the restaurant, it is finally time to check in at our historic hotel, El Mezon de Marquez. This building dates back to the 17th century. Classic and historic on the outside, beautifully renovated on the inside, this place has a perfect pool for relaxing and an incredible, creamy, delicious jicama margarita at the pool bar.
Living the resort life.
Speaking of delicious, we've also heard that they have an incredible restaurant that we'll go to later for dinner. Oh, and by the way, we are paying less than $50 a night for all of this.
Oh, hey! It's iVEN. Welcome to my crib.
We are sitting in what are called 2 EO chairs. These chairs are found everywhere around here in Yucatan, and they're chairs where you can gaze adoringly into each other's eyes while maintaining physical distance. So legend says that it was actually a father who was very protective of his daughter while she was being courted by a lover. So he had told her, oh, you can go only as far as the park benches. And then he realized that park benches still allow for some close, innocent proximity. So the legend is that he had these chairs designed so that they could still talk, still look into each other's eyes, but maintain a physical distance, physical barrier right here.
Romantic.
Very romantic.
Very romantic view in the background too.
Yeah.
Beautiful church there. Water fountain.
And 2 EO, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, is you and me. This is the you and me chairs. Now for a quick history lesson. Valladolid was started in 1543 by Spanish conquistadors, who named it after the capital of Spain at the time. It was actually nowhere near where the town is now, but the humidity and mosquitoes were so bad that after 2 years of the settlers complaining and petitioning, frizzy-haired and covered in mosquito bites, they finally moved locations in 1545. They built the town we see now on top of a Mayan town, dismantled their buildings, and used the materials to build some of what we see today. It is really cool to still see some of the ancient materials today, but also not cool. Why'd they have to do the Mayans like that? Speaking of violence, we move on to this gorgeous building in the center of town, the Iglesia de San Servacio, which was originally built in 1543, but had to be torn down and rebuilt in the early 1700s because several politicians were murdered in the building. While it'd be really cool to see a church from 1545, this building is still around 300 years old, and it is stunning. We're going into one of the most iconic buildings here in Valladolid. Incredible, beautiful architecture. That place was so just gorgeously breathtaking. Having a service right now, so we can't really show you around. But check this out. So it seems weird to be eating gelato in Mexico. That seems like more of an Italian thing, but this place was crazy well reviewed. It had almost 5 stars, thousands of reviews on Google, so we decided we needed to give it a shot, and we are not disappointed. This is pretty fantastic.
Perfect for a hot day like this.
Literally the cutest Burger King in the history of the world. Okay, so we made it to Calle de los Frailes, I think is how you pronounce it. And what's funny about this place, and I think it's gonna be beautiful, I am really excited, but literally the number one thing on so many lists that I read of things to do in Valladolid was literally just to walk down this road, see how pretty all the buildings are, all the colors are, and take pictures. I just love how so many of these buildings, they've kept some of their original architecture. They've redone the inside so they are kind of just facades, but they really kept that amazing classic look.
This door is so cool that they had to put another door in front of it. Look at this yellow one.
Remember earlier when I was a little disappointed that the church we saw was only 300 years old and not the original one built in the 1550s? Well, we can be sad no more because we have made it to the Convent de San Bernardino, built by Franciscan monks to serve as a church and fortress in the 1550s. While admiring the building, we noticed huge laser projectors and found out there would be a light show in just a couple hours. So we grabbed drinks on a rooftop nearby, and now it is time for the show. The light show is so cool. I just wish we had realized that if we had waited a little longer, there would have been one in English. After the show, some performers led the crowd across the street to witness a really awesome Mayan dance ritual. Valladolid is a Pueblo Magico, which means it has national recognition as being a town with a lot of historical, architectural, gastronomical, and cultural value. We really are having a magico time here. And the magico times will continue in the next video as we explore the natural beauty of the area, swimming in cenotes aka sinkholes, aka beautiful caves. Thanks so much for joining us. We had so much fun experiencing this part of Mexico slightly off the typical tourist path. Please like and subscribe and join us on the next one.